What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Legendary Jamez, and we're back right here, baby, with the MSU Dynasty here on College Football Revamped. As we have yet again won another national championship, baby. 3 out of 4 years we have gotten it done. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And here we are with the year 4 off season, getting into it, reviewing some of the season stats. Before we get into it, I will link below a Google Form sheet of some of the players that were included in this year, where your players have went. And if you want to be included in the next recruiting process, go ahead and comment down below your player name, position, star caliber, and your basically your archetype. What kind of play style do you want your guy to be? So go ahead and comment that down below. You know, other stuff, location and whatnot as well, if you want in there, skin color, whatnot, all that good stuff, height, weight, everything you want to include on your player, comment it down below. I'll be going through it through the next few days and go ahead and create the next recruiting class, add you guys into the recruiting pool, and we'll go ahead and add you in for next season. I believe we had about 8 guys this year, so that will be in a Google Form sheet linked below, and you could go ahead and check that out. We'll follow your guys' players out throughout the season and whatnot. All right, I'm just gonna come back here to our season stats. Pick it up here at receivers. Not a lot of receiving cooking, I ain't gonna lie. We did not pass the ball as well as I wanted to. We eventually got it together with Sawyer late in the year with the slight adjustment in the sliders, and it just gave him a decent enough boost. I felt like with 98 overall QB, with his accuracy, I believe it was 90 plus, he should have been a lot more accurate. So I made a slight adjustment, and all of a sudden he's hitting. Basically, he was still missing throws, which is what I wanted. I want him to still miss throws, but with him being that high rated, I wanted him to miss some. So eventually we got the passing game going. Hopefully it'll be good for next year, and hopefully we get him back next year. He is a junior, but he could declare being a 98 overall. Looking at tackle leaders, John Lewis leading the team in TFLs. 13 sacks for Javon Banks, 12 for John Lewis, the junior. Hopefully he comes back again next year. We'll see. And then 10 sacks for Lionel Richard, is a sophomore. Started the year off slow, but got it going in the second half. Love to see that for him. Jeremy Brown with 9 as well. That's 7 for Joe Smith, 7 for Rodney Grosse Jr. Started the year off hot for Rodney. I felt like we were calling his name a lot. As the year went on, we kind of a little less and less. John Reed getting a solid 5. None too crazy. Devin Lee leading the team in tackles, I do believe. Pick-wise, Rashawn Moore taking that one over in his championship game. Love to see that from him. Nathan Wright, though, with 4. Mike Pierce with 3. Both true freshmen. Curtis Harrell with 2 and 1 for Janari Dean. Pass deflections, Mike Pierce could add a couple more. Did drop a few. What else we got here? Forced fumbles. We had a few this season. Devin Lee, Rashawn Moore, John Lewis, Lionel Richard, and Jeremy Brown, all with 1. That's good to see out of them right there. Hopefully we can force a few more fumbles next year. I love creating turnovers, giving us a lot better field position and whatnot. We did have 1 safety with Joe Smith. Good to see right there. Good to see. Defensive touchdowns. I believe we had a few, maybe 3. No, I'm not going to show it. I know we had a couple. Sean Riley did miss 4 field goals. Most of them were just him being out of range. I think I actually did miss a couple with him. Here we go. 4 defensive touchdowns. Rashawn Moore, Rodney Grosse, Curtis Harrell, Nathan Wright. Good to see right there. Was that probably 3 pick sixes, and Rodney Grosse, he might have had a pick 6 as well. Whole lot of extra points hit, though, by Sean Riley. The power, man. Hopefully he develops this season, but that kick power is just atrocious, really holding us back. Ryan Munoz, though, picked it up near the end of the year, finally getting that accuracy down with him. Return man of the year, Curtis Vaughn. I wish we could add another year of Curtis Vaughn, man. I think it would have been fun with him as our star running back. But Sawyer leading the team, top 10 in passing this year. DJ getting top 32nd, basically, as Bailey from Raging Cajuns, who we played this year. He didn't really do much against us, but he was one of the nation's leading rushers. We led the nation in tackles, mainly thanks to games played and whatnot. Sack-wise, though, we have 3 out of the top 5 right there. That's good to see for us. So we're definitely applying that pressure on defense, which we had the 3rd-ranked best defense in the nation, so seems about right. And then kicking-wise, I think Sean Riley's pretty near the bottom right there. Yeah, 44-yard field goal. Looking at our recap so far, we're 52-4 ever since we took over MSU. 3 national championships, only 2 SEC championships, but we got 3 of those national championships, man. So we've gotten it done. Finally got our perfect season. We actually getting offers from other schools now. Penn State and Auburn. We were up there in contention, but obviously we're not leaving. We're staying here. with our guys. Going to keep it going. We're going to go ahead and look at coach changes right here. We do lose our 2 coordinators here. We'll go ahead and look at where they went. But looking throughout here, Alabama gets an extension for their head coach in Golding right there. Saban retired, I believe, like in year 1. Dan Mullen gets an extension for Florida. They're starting to come back up again. Looking at Georgia, Kirby Smart gets another extension right there. He's still looking pretty solid for them. For us right there, Fitzgerald does leave us for a new job. We get William Jones, a defensive coordinator right there. He has no upgrades available, so he's brand new to it. Hopefully he could get up to speed quickly. And then Chip Kelly coming in is our OC for Joe Johnson there. So we get Chip Kelly is our offensive coordinator, 27, so he's a maxed out coordinator. Probably only going to be here a year because expecting us to do very well this season, obviously. And then Vanderbilt going to go through another rebuild right here. They fired everybody there, brought in a whole new regime, so we'll see how they end up improving over there, as they've been pretty easy throughout. And Ole Miss got extensions for their guys too. Looking at where our coaches went right here, Johnson going to go take over at Arizona State for Herm Edwards as he retires. So Jay Johnson over to ASU. Maybe we'll take him on this year. And then Pat Fitzgerald and Chip Kelly basically swap spots. Fitzgerald, the defensive guy, though, going to take over UCLA. And then Chip Kelly come to us as a C- prestige. He kind of fell off, but they went 2-10 this year. So they have not played well under Chip Kelly. So he comes over to us, and then they get our defensive coordinator in Fitzgerald. Right here, we go over to the declaration page right here, and Sawyer is going to declare. He's a projected first-round QB, so unfortunately he will be leaving us. Hate to see it. Javon Banks also, but he was already graduating. He's projected to be a 7th-round pick. And then Joe Smith could have left. He ends up not as a sophomore, 90 overall defensive tackle. He will stay, so hopefully he can have one monster year with us, and hopefully he doesn't leave, but we'll see what happens. We come back to the main screen here, and yep, it is what it is right here. So Joe Smith is going to be the star defensive tackle. I kind of wish I'd went into the playbook earlier and swapped out a few of our auto subs and whatnot. We had John Reed getting some snaps and some more situations I would have liked. Even though he was All-American his first year here, but Joe Smith was just the better defensive tackle. Should have put him in more situations. So, I mean, at least he stays this year. So hopefully we could go ahead and let him eat. He's going to take over Javon Banks' role basically, and we'll see how it goes. And then we go to the results. Sawyer does get picked in the 3rd round, so he actually does drop a lot. And then Javon Banks does get picked up in the 7th round. So we do get 2 guys drafted out of us. Coming into recruiting now, we're going into the final recruiting stage here. We have a top 10 ranked recruiting class at the moment. She went to Big Cheese, already gone to Notre Dame, as they currently have the #1 ranked recruiting class. Kenny Powers, someone else we also targeted. He's gone to Oklahoma. Gonna look to hopefully add them to our matchup. Joe Mama gone to Ole Miss, and Young Hoku as well. So we've had a few of our guys that were created in this process for this season already commit to other schools. We did get a few of us. So we do got those, like I said, linked below. So you can check out the Google form there, and I will be updating it throughout the year. So you go ahead and check that out. Robert Ellison, Rashad Parson, James Poland, some of the big names we've got already. Jamal Covington, 79 overall, another big one for us. Caleb Edwards, one of the guys we actually created into here as well. Griff Langston and others as well. Braxton Montana is the man we are going after here. We have missed out on our, we lose a QB in Sawyer. We need to bring somebody else in. We got Forte, who we'll see how he progresses. He is in line to go ahead and get that starting position. Braxton, though, brings another element, though, with the speed and not quite the throw power, basically the speed and versatility of him. But we're going to throw 8K at him. John Perez is going to get a solid 3K. I do want to bring him in. Steve Scott, 81 overall defensive lineman, looking really, really good right there. I want to see if we could get him. Ramon Sullivan, someone that we're trying to chase down here, debating whether or not to go after him. We go look at who we have at defensive tackle. It's not a need at the moment, so we are going to go ahead and wipe his points out right here. We're going to take him away, and we're going to go ahead and throw it all into Steve Scott. I want that 81 overall. I want that playmaker on the outside of the D-line to match up and hopefully get us some more sacks, man. Keep this defensive line. The more pressure we apply at the D-line, the more picks we're going to get. It's that simple. Our corners aren't the best. They haven't developed as great as I would have liked so far. Hopefully they get a good progression this season, but at this point right now, they are all very low overall, so we need to continue to apply the pass rush to keep it looking good. So we get Steve Scott up to 3K, and we're going to throw even more into Braxton Montana. I want to get those three are our top three. If we get any of these other guys, it is a plus, but it is not necessary. I already like the recruiting class we got, and we get into it right here. We get Scott, get Montana, got Perez, got Vernon Taylor at wideout. Justin Holt is another depth running back there. Ramon Sullivan we do miss out on, but we finished with a top 10 recruiting class. Love to see that right there. And we go right into it right here. Perez, we win by only 815, so we put just enough in for him. Like to see that there for us. Very good addition there. Southern Mississippi didn't really go too hard for Ramon Sullivan, man. We could have probably put a lot more into him and put a little bit into him. We would have got him. Nick Bates, we kind of gave up on. He goes to UNC. Braxton Montana, we get with plenty of room to spare. Went a little overkill on it, but definitely wanted to make sure we had him locked up. Steve Scott, we get locked up with an extra 1,400. Vernon Taylor, we get locked up, no problem. Ross Robinson, yeah, we weren't going to get him even if we threw points at him. Justin Holt, we basically had locked up as well. And then the rest of the guys who we have already secured right here. So we're looking pretty good. I like the recruiting class we got right here. Didn't go too crazy. We're still bringing 21 guys. I felt like I brought in a lot, but we bring in some solid guys. So #1 recruiting class does go to Notre Dame. Notre Dame with She Went to Big Cheese is the #1 prospect in the nation going there. Hopefully we could get them onto our schedule this season. Hopefully he's playing. And then right here we go into player progression. A +8 for Albert Reese at left tackle. A +7 for Chris Morales at right tackle. I like those. Our tackle position is looking real good going into it, but they are seniors, so hopefully the development continues behind them. Looking at defensive tackle, Joe Smith goes up to a 92. Rashawn Moore up to a 92 as well for +3. John Lewis did stay for his senior year. He only goes up +2 as well, unfortunately. He's having great seasons. He's just not getting the big boost that I want to see. We go through AJ Forte, major loss right there. Loses 2 overall points, man. He has been getting worse and worse the more he's been here. And that is just not a good sign for us right there. Richmond Wilson right there, getting the big jump. He will be our starting running back to begin this year. Gabe Ginn getting a nice +5 with James Lynch and Brandon Harris. But a -1 right there for Brian Russell. Don't want to see that from one of our better looking wideouts this year. O-line continuing to develop, but the guys beneath them are not developing well. I saw -2 in there. That's not real hot. We got Charlie Lee developing behind him. Stanford Dixon, again, a -2. That's not good. Mike Collier again, a nice +4. I like that. McCoy again, a solid +5. I like that as well. We got Derek Bray for another year as well, so that's good to see. So he should develop pretty good. Right here, Davis, I think Dan Davis going down 4 overall points. That's terrible. And then Phillips only going up +2. So we're not, the O-line looking a little sus, man. We really got to make sure we get that locked up this next offseason. End-wise, we got Jeremy Brown only going up +1. He had a solid season, only getting a +1. You hate to see it. Travis Bates getting us a +4. Lionel Richard, very good +5 right there after his great season. Corey Parham getting a +2. And Steve Davis with a +3. Defensive tackle-wise, Nick Burns getting us a nice +5 right there as well. And John Reed, love to see that. Linebackers developing right there, definitely getting a nice +4. We're going to have a true freshman right outside linebacker for us. That's going to be key. Cornerback-wise, no progression. No one went over 80 overall. Hate to see it right there. And we come over here to the redshirt status now. And, yeah, I'm really disappointed in how our corners develop, man. I should have slowed it down right there. The video is getting kind of long. I didn't want to go too crazy with it. But looking at it right here, I'm thinking I'm going to start with Braxton Montana. I'm going to start with Braxton. He brings us the speed element, and Forte's just gotten worse every single year we've had him, the last 2 years of development for him, and it's just, I don't want to see that. Like, come on, man. You got to be better than that. Then, right here, big one. Brian Russell doesn't go up at all, and he was one of the better guys for us at receiver. He was the big, deep threat, and he does not develop whatsoever. I think he went down 1, which is very disappointing to see right there. We do got a few more depth guys coming in here. I like to see that. That's good to see at the O-line. Defensive line wise, left end Steve Scott, 81 overall, is going to start for us this year. Even though Jeremy Brown had a good year, I go ahead and redshirt him. It's not gonna happen. I go look at his stats again and remind myself why we went all in on him. Jeremy Brown though, very good season, but it's just the stats, man. Look at these stats right here. for Steve Scott. He's just out. He's better than him. 83 power move to 76, 86 to 83, 82 to 80, and the pursuit was a 92. I mean, take it off. He's going to start. It sucks. We got some great depth behind him, but I'm going best player available, man. We got to go with the best guy, and that's what we're going to rock out with there. We are going to redshirt our 2 freshmen coming in at right end there. So Richard and whatchamacallit will be starting. Defensive tackle wise, John Reed, not going to redshirt him. Junior already. We're just going to let him rock out at that number 3. Ryan Fletcher will get redshirted there. Caleb Edwards, we will redshirt you as well. I love the speed of Caleb Edwards. Hopefully he develops real good being a redshirt and could get some good PT eventually after Devin Lee leaves. Looking at the outside linebacker positions here, we got 3 true freshmen over at right outside linebacker. We are going to redshirt, not Parsons, I believe. I end up switching this to Ellison here, which is they're gonna end up switching next season, to be honest. At least that's my plan. And then corner, just a disappointment, man. No one progresses over 80, and I was really counting on that, because now we're not looking too hot, man. It's looking like a weakness yet again, so we're really gonna have to depend on this D-line to apply some pressure for us. We got the depth, man. They're just not developing like we want. Griff Langston will get redshirted as well. Justin Miller, true freshman, we will leave him there to start. And then Dave Phillips, I need to remind myself and go figure out how to edit him to get rid of that transfer year, because I forgot how to do it. But Braxton will be starting. Richmond Wilson will be a starting running back for us. Wideout Gabe Ginn, James Lynch, Brandon Harris leading the way right there. And then I will end up I have Brown and Taylor there at the 4 and 5. I end up moving at the 6 spot, Brian Russell back there. But I like Brandon Harris there at the 3. He's going to be our slot guy. He's basically taking Gabe Ginn's spot while we move Gabe Ginn outside with James Lynch as well. But Brian Russell is going to be at the 6. I'm probably going to move him up to the 4. I'm going to give him his due. If he doesn't perform, then we will get him out of there. Cornerback wise, it's all basically best players started. The rest of the positions. And in corner, very disappointed, man. I really wanted Mike Pierce to develop more. He has a great man, great zone. The press need to come up some, and it just didn't. I think he actually regressed right there in that category. So Nathan Wright is going to come out as our number 1 as a true sophomore right there. I love his stats. Hopefully he could hold it down. Curtis Harrell will probably stay at the number 2. At the 3, though, I will go ahead and move Mike Pierce back there. And then it's going to be James Hardy at the 4 with Lorenzo Ford probably at the 5. Even though I love Ford's stats, but that low press is just real bad. And then we're going to go ahead and take a look at our schedule to begin this year. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. We're taking on number 6 Michigan and number 9 Oklahoma. We got number 4 Notre Dame there in week 6 as we get into conference play early in week 3, 4, and 5. Then Notre Dame. Then we get a bye week. We get an easier game with Kansas State. Still no joke, though. And then finish out the year with some conference play. Alabama, Arkansas, and Ole Miss wrapping it up there. As it's going to be tough, man. Going to be a tough year. Hopefully, we'll see how the QB play is going to be the story of the year right there. Hopefully, they can hold up, and secondary as well. So, like I said, if you want to be in the series, comment your guy down below right now. Get it done. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like. Hit the subscribe button for more. We got year 5 of Mississippi State Dynasty coming up very soon. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.